Hello everybody and welcome back to another awesome episode of RimWorld, and this one is especially cool because we have the new update right here. We got Alpha 5 coming up, and obviously with every update that comes out with this game, there's a whole new bucket load of awesome, cool new stuff for us to explore and play around with. So I'm really looking forward to get into that. But actually, first off, oh, and I should say right away, I want to say special thanks to Eric Moore, because the update actually came out yesterday, and I totally actually missed it. Usually I stay on top of keeping up with when these things release, but I missed it yesterday. And so that's why we are doing it today instead. So, thank you, Eric, for sending me a message about that. But, first off, I actually wanted to ask you guys, a lot of stuff has been added to this game, but most of it is not stuff that's going to change immediately, like with Update 4, when they had all the wood economy stuff placed into the game. So I was basically wondering, would you guys like me to play for a while in order to catch up to about the point that we were with the other series? Or maybe like, or with our last colony, or maybe about like halfway to that point. Basically, play the game until we get to the point where the changes actually start making some relevance to the gameplay. So you guys just send me messages in the comments below whether or not you would like me to go along with that, or just go ahead and continue on with the colony we're going to play in this video. Because of course, this video is going to be mainly me talking about and showing off the changes that are added to the game, at least from starting a new colony's perspective, looking at the new changes. But anyways, first off here is one of the first changes, but obviously the one that we're probably going to talk about the least. There's been a bunch of different translation additions added to the game, so you could actually just click on that little flag right there and do whatever language you wanted. So if we wanted to play the game in Dutch, boom, done. But we're, of course, going to go with English since I'm a big old dongleberry, and that's the only language that I really know at all. I took, like, a couple years of Spanish, and none of that stuck with me. So here we're going to go pretty quick choosing these, I think. We want to choose good people, and I think this is a good person to start off with, because shooting has a good passion. This could be our minor, only incapable of caring and social, and that's not all that important. We got our crafter, but can't shoot at all, so we're not going to have someone like that starting off our colony, incapable of none. Research has a passion, a small passion, and growing has a passion as well, so this might be a good person to take. Not incredible, but good enough for our start, and this is a pretty bad person as well. Incapable of cleaning, hunting. Let's try to get someone who's incapable of nothing again, just to make things nice. This one has a big cooking passion. Not exactly who we would want, but let's double check everyone else. It's nice to start with a shooting 10, so you know what, I think all these people are perfectly fine, and that will allow us to, of course, go ahead and jump on into this game. But let's talk about the main thing that has been added to this new edition of the game. The biggest thing, and the one that's going to have the most relevance, of course, is... Let's zoom out as much as we can and see if this will allow us to just select all the objects. Oh, yes! That makes it so much easier. But there are now sieges that are part of the game. So enemy forces, rather than coming in and attacking you straight off... Oh, metal? Metal's been changed. I don't know if I like that. I liked the old design for metal. Now it just looks like a bag of garbage, but, you know, I'll get used to it and then like it later on. I kind of really liked the old look. It wasn't realistic because it looked really refined, like it was actually, like it looked like you mined out a metal deposit and then it's instantly refined metal, rather than actually just being the rock that it would be. So this is much more realistic, and I can respect that. But the other one was pretty, and I like that. So let's see. We do have a geothermal generator over here, but we probably can't build much of a... Oh my god, a royal bed. That is cool. That's one thing that I didn't see in the update. We now have a metal stool and a wooden stool. That's awesome. People sit here. Okay, so do we not have chairs anymore? They must be stools now. That's interesting. That'll be a cool thing to see later. And improvised turrets have apparently had a have a different design now also. A lot of the changes that are going to be in this update are ones that I won't be too aware of, because I only look at and jot down the main changes to the game, and of course with each update there's a whole bunch of smaller additions that are also added. Power, we want to go to power. Geothermal generator. We have more than enough space to build that and then a room later on, so that might be a good place for us to hang out, but let's go ahead and check everywhere else first. If we go here, it won't be the best defensive position, but we do have all of that we can mine out, and then we have more than enough space to actually use as well. Here we can't go too much towards the left, which would be a little bit of a bummer. And there isn't really a metal deposit too close by. There's that one down there, but that one's kind of far to walk. I would prefer... Okay, that's pretty good. I think we're going to stick with this. This is near where we begin. We could then work our way into the mountainside, and there appears to be a mineral deposit over there, so we're going to start off here. But talking about the sieges, as I began to mention, sieges are very interesting, because that means now they're purposely designed to actually counter the death corridors that, of course, we've been working so hard at using to... make our base incredibly threatening and all that. So, let's go ahead and double check, who is our best shot, first off. Character. So, do we want our best shot to take the Lee Enfield? I don't know. We've seen that... Let's have our best shot take the lead. Well, no. 10 is really good. So that actually might be around the point where the Lee Enfield would be better than a normal pistol. So yeah, we're gonna have that person take the Lee Enfield. Where was the other pistol? Was it around this cactus? There we go. Okay, cool. Oh, Mispy! Mispy's back. That's nice. Oh, wait, no, that's Missy, not Mispy. But basically, sieges are meant to actually counter... the death corridor strategy that you could do before, and we have done many a time before, mainly due to the fact that it allows any enemies to just, like, build a base, like let's say we build our base way up here. That means the enemies can build their base down, build their own little fortification down here, along with a bunch of mortars, which they can actually use to attack us all the way from down here by bombarding our base with either explosive rockets or incendiary. So what that means is that, and this is my favorite part of this change, it forces us to actually have to consider going on the offensive and work our way down to them, rather than just using defense as the greatest offense, you know, that kind of strategy. So let's go ahead and start off putting our metal wall around this door right here. While I'm building walls, this is actually something that doesn't coincide with the update, but something that I was very happy to hear. I was informed by Gamer Girl that apparently, from her research, so this is something that she's figured out on her own, but I do trust her resource because she's been very, very reliable in the past. But apparently... do we like this on the right or the left? You know what, this might look even worse, but let's mix up all of the doors just to make it unique. We'll put that one right there, put that one right there, and then we'll have a wall right there and a wall right there. Yeah, I actually think I like that more. I kind of like that more. But I think it would make a lot more sense if that one was down and this one was up. So let's go ahead and do it like that. But apparently you could have 5 blocks of space. So let's say if we were going to build a wall right there, and we're planning to roof in an area, that means we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That much would be able to be roofed in, which means that, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... getting rid of this, then that's how big of a space you could have without the roof collapsing. That's at least how I understood what she was telling me. So that's very, very cool, and that'll help us with being able to design and build the rest of our stuff in the future. But of course, let's continue on with that. So I'm very interested in how all these sieges are going to work now for twofold reasons. Number one is because, obviously, that means we might have to go on the offensive many a time now, so we can prevent the enemy from attacking us from afar and slowly destroying our base like that. Let's go ahead and mess with these in the meantime. Doctor, I guess we'll have him as the doctor. Warden is decided. We'll have Lucky. Are you a good cook? I would prefer for Lucky to be the cook, since... No, good cook. So it looks like we're gonna have, Freya be the cook as well, in addition to other things that Freya may be doing. No, everyone doesn't need to do hunting. Everyone needs to do construction work, though, and repairs, especially since we're so early in the game. Let's take everyone off for plant growing and mining. We'll figure that out in a sec. Crafting as well, we'll figure that out in a sec. Art, we'll figure out in a sec. Hauling, cleaning, and research only needs to be done by one. Let's look at research first. This is gonna be me doing this one at a time to figure out all of these people's skills and abilities. Research is at the top. Missy, okay. So as I was saying, research, Missy right there. So as I was saying, but also the really cool thing that I'm excited about is with research now, we can actually study, because I believe we do not begin with it. Where is security? Yeah, we can actually get our own mortars for our base, which means later we'll be able to siege other enemies that may land very far away and actually like counterattack them. Of course, their chances of harming us are much better than attacking us because we have this huge base. Basically, we're a bigger target. We've got our whole base that they'll slowly attack, while they're just like a small little defensive colony that will slowly start wearing us down. We only need one grower for the time being, so let's go ahead and see who that will be. Missy is gonna be doing... Oh yeah, I actually think I'm okay with having Missy being the grower and the other person for the time being. So that means that that's pretty much all that Miss B's going to work on for now, though. Miss B won't be the crafter, and we could have the crafter and the artist be the same person, so that means it's going to be Freya, because Freya, you do indeed have a passion for it, correct? Yep, artistic and crafting, and good. Lucky does not have a passion for that. So that means Lucky is going to be our miner. Lucky, are you a good miner? Oh, that is fantastic. Okay, so this is actually going to work out as a pretty good colony, I think. With pretty good skills for all of our people. So that's the main update, as I mentioned before, but as always, there actually is, what is with this setup? That goes 4, 2, 0, 3, 1? I hope that's a glitch, because I do not like that at all. That's kind of aggravating, but anyways, cooking can be a 3 for now. We don't need to worry about cooking or doctoring. Hunting can also be a 3 for both of those people. Construction will make a 3. No. Construction will make a 1 for Freya. We'll make a 3 for the others. Probably a 2, actually, for the others. And then repairing can be 3s. And that'll work pretty well for all of that. So let me see. I'm gonna cross out all this stuff on my list really quick that I mentioned before. Yes, so, as I said, you have to research the mortar weapons, which is a very cool thing. But also, in addition to that, there are 2 types of mortars. There's actually an explosive one and an incendiary one. So I don't know which would be better. I imagine it's one of those things where in the long run, incendiary would probably be best. But, because it would cover a wider area over a longer span of time, but, it might be worth it all in all. But I think we're probably going to experiment more with explosive ones, because those will deal more damage if they hit, so, and I feel much more confident in regards to us working on that kind of thing. So we're only gonna have 3 haulers now. Of course, cleaning can be a 4, research can be a 1, and I think that'll be good for all of that. So, basically, an interesting thing for us in regards to research this time is that we're definitely going to want to build a research table right away, as we pretty much always do at this point. But it's going to be interesting, because we're going to have to decide whether or not we want to build our turrets first, or actually work on other things like the mortar, or, of course, other things that are very important as well. I think we'll actually want to work on the mortar, second to the turrets, just because the turrets secure our base much more, I think, while the turrets... I don't know. we'll think about it. I'm not even sure where we'll want to put the mortars, because theoretically, we could put the mortars in the garden room that we're eventually going to have, because I don't think those need to be stationed out in the front of our base. So we may actually have like 2 different attack positions. One of them could be inside of our base, and it's just for mortars, and maybe some turrets to keep enemies from flying right into our base from there. But, I don't know. Basically, what I'm saying here, long story short, is that there is a lot of stuff that we can do and work on. Where is the wood cutter's bench? We definitely need one of those. Coming up pretty quick so we could get to work on wood. You don't need to research that, right? Where's that thing? Oh my god, maybe you do need to research it. You should not need to research that. I feel like before we couldn't. Either I'm blind as a bat and I'm just not seeing it, or I am completely wrong about what I was saying. Cool thing about actually how we're setting up these doors now is that does mean that we can actually squeeze things in quite nicely. Yeah, because the research table is just long enough to be like on one side of the room while having the wall go up like that. Means we can't put a light next to it, but that's actually okay. So, do we have any wood starting off with? No, we only have the regular wood. So let's actually get the research table finished very, very quickly, because, now I kind of feel like we need to double check to make sure whether or not we do need to research the wood table now. That might be a change from the past. Because we do start off with metal, of course, as always in this game, so it actually might make sense if they would change it so that you would need to craft that table. Then where do we want our kitchen to be? I think it actually might make sense to put our kitchen up. That means we have a lot of expansion to do into the mountainside where we could put like our hydroponics tables and stuff like that. So that might be a good idea. The garden can always make its way. Make its way towards the right. I don't know why I could not speak there for whatever reason. And then if we put the kitchen up here, it can obviously be extra long, like about that long or something like that, to kind of connect with the whole expanse of how long this room is going to be. Like be these 2 rooms lengths in one room. Then we could put the tables down there so everyone can eat and be happy as a clam. So we'll put the nutrient paste dispenser right about there, I think. Or should we put it on the left side? If the room's going to be that big, it actually might make sense to have it farthest to the left. Like, keep it away, kind of keep it, like, in the room, but away from where everyone's gonna be eating. So, you know, they grab their food on the side, then go over to the tables and eat and be happy with their lives. So let's see, what else is there? Oh, okay, this is a really big one that I think is really cool. As you can see right here, there is now an escape ship that has been added to the game, and you need to build all the parts for it, and there are indeed a lot of parts. Many of them have to be researched before that can actually do anything. See, look, shipbuilding basics, that's one thing. Oh, we didn't do our rave room! We didn't get to finish that. That's so sad. And there's the mortars. Mortars go for 4,000. Man, it's gonna take us a while before we could get to that then. Yeah, if they're 4,000, I think we're definitely going to do our basic turrets first. But let's get to hydroponics. Let's see, is a wood cutting bench in here? A pick, stone cutting, slag refinery, mortars, screaming, strong doors. No, it's not. Did I just miss it? Hydroponics is now apparently 7,000. That's definitely been an update. Holy cow. That means that, hydroponics may be... Yeah, hydroponics is the hardest thing to research in the game right now. That makes sense, but is also a little bit infuriating. So that means we're gonna make a basic garden. So let's go ahead and make that right now, because we are going to run out of food before we get to that point. We actually could, of course, just choose to gather resources from local plants instead, but there don't seem to be an incredible amount of them nearby. So let's go ahead and just make our garden. So that means we need to make a zone, make a growing zone. Let's go ahead and put it like right up there. That'll be good enough. We won't have many plants, but enough to, of course, allow us to survive. And between research and the plant growing, I think that should all work pretty well. Now that this is actually roofed in, I feel much safer putting down one of those power conduits, so in case rain happens, there won't be any problems. Then people will be able to eat from the nutrient paste dispenser. These are starting meals, right? Yeah, packaged survival meals. This is obviously something that was in the previous update, but that's such a nice addition to the game, because that means you start off the game without people's mental resistance being lowered by the fact that they're eating raw potatoes. That is really nice that you get to start with full-on meals, so you, don't have to build a nutrient paste dispenser within, like, the first 10 seconds of the game. Now, where is that frickin' woodcutter's bench? Am I just blind? Butcher's table, cooking stove, it's not in there, and that's production. It really should be in production, I would imagine. Obviously, it wouldn't be in misc, decoration, not ship. Security, furniture, wood table, blah, blah, blah. None of that really matters. And then that, yeah. Well, actually, interesting enough, it looks like you don't need wood planks to build anything anymore, so maybe the wooden economy was actually kind of removed from the game. Yeah, it looks like everything just requires basic wood. That's honestly a little bit of a shame. I kind of liked the wood economy. I hope it comes back if it actually has been indeed removed from the game. So let's go ahead and get our wooden rooms going. We're going to have a wooden room going on in here because that's going to be the kitchen, of course. We will actually use a bit more. Actually, no, the research room does not need to be metal. So let's actually put that down there. That kind of sucks. Our kitchen is not going to be closed up for a while. I totally forgot about that. But of course, we're not going to close that up while there's actually... Why didn't you... Wait, okay. He just cut down that tree without harvesting it. So I might as well select to harvest that. Must designate food yielding sufficient... Oh, that's why it's not grown fully. I was wondering why he cut it down instead of harvesting it. That's okay. We'll go ahead and finish the research room for now so that our people can get their own individual rooms. Ooh, totally messed that up. We need a wooden door right there, so obviously we need to cancel that project. How much wood did that? Oh, it's only 6 wood, so actually no harm, no foul. Let's put the door actually right about there, which is kind of ironic since I just clicked to get rid of that project, but you know, that's okay. One wall will go across there, and then I think that's actually perfectly long enough for this room. I think it's a little bit less space than that other one, but you know, it's we don't need it all to be perfectly exact. Then that door goes right there, and we could sell one of those beds to put another one in here. Oh, nice! Since these beds actually just take basic wood now, that's actually so much nicer that we could build regular beds or nice beds for our people just right off the bat instantly. Apparently royal beds take metal, so that's interesting. Do we want to put the bed right there? That's actually not the best spot for it. Let's put it right there. Not against the wall, but like next to it, you know? And then we could put in a couple of lamps. We need some lamps in this room, especially if people are going to be sleeping in there, and then we'll put down 3 over there. We don't need one in that corner. If we do, we'll just put it like right there. I don't even think we actually built any plants, like any pots or anything like that, like plant pots or whatever they're called. Oh, it is called a plant pot. I don't think we built any of those in our last run, so that's a little bit unfortunate. But yeah, so I was talking about the escape ship. Basically, there's a lot of things that go into the escape ship. It takes a ton of resources, as you could see. This single piece of it is 800 metal. And then after that, you also need a bunch of other stuff that goes towards completing it, like the research you have to do. And there's actually a special event that needs to happen before you could build the ship. But first off, let's actually say what the ship means. What the ship actually is, it is the end game possibility, or the first one that's been added to RimWorld. And I don't know what exactly happens in it, because of course Tynan was very secretive when he mentioned anything about it in his update news stuff and update video. But basically, that's how you beat the game as of this point. As if we wanted to, and this is certainly what we would do if we get to that point, or when we get to that point, if we're going to be if we're going to try to be optimistic. when we get to that point, we could just watch the ending or see whatever happens once you complete the game. And then after that point, just be like, hey, let's just load that past save and then continue the game from where we left off, rather than just starting off new. Or we could start a new colony from then if we wanted to. Be like, hey, we beat this colony. We completed it. No need to go back. But I really like the late game colonies. That's when things get really intense and cool in this game. But as I was saying, there is at least one other thing that goes into, building that ship for the late game. You need some kind of computer hardware for it, from what I understood. And how you do that is that there's a random event that can occur called, the crash, which is when an ancient ship crashes. You see how there's like all this ancient, relics and stone and stuff like that, but there's also some ancient civilizations that are very, very advanced. Due to visiting, two people are visiting the colony. Doesn't really matter though. Oh, good work, Mispy. Getting that research done. Once hydroponics is finished. Oh, I'm such a fool. I put the table in a bad spot again. Whatever. I hate it when I set up the table like that, but that just means we'll have to put the hoppers on the two sides. So oh yeah, hoppers go into production. One hopper right there, and one hopper right there. Hate it when I do that, because that means now we can't put a light in that corner, but you know, it's not necessary. We could put a lamp right there or something. But an ancient ship can crash, and that's actually a very, very scary thing for your colony, because it means a lot of bad news bears for you. Basically, the first thing about it is when that ship lands, it will actually start emitting a kind of psionic pulse that will either slowly or quite rapidly. I honestly have no idea how fast this happens, but it'll begin to make your colonists go insane. So as soon as you can, you'll actually want to go and attack that AI to destroy it. But the problem then is that it will release some kind of defense protocol, which will obviously defend it and try to fight your guys against shutting it down. So it's quite a scary scenario with those kinds of things, but from what I understand, defeating that thing is actually necessary towards getting one of the pieces that you need for space travel and flight. Like, I think that's probably like the ship AI you need, because like in Alien or something, like in the movie Alien, all of your people are in... Actually, did that happen in Alien? I know it happened in Prometheus, but I'm pretty sure it happened in Alien as well. But basically, all your people are in a deep sleep due to the space travel. So you actually need an AI to control the ship while your people are in like kind of hibernation. Local squirrel has gone mad. We'll just let that be dealt with. Oh, in fact, actually, they might end up dealing with it. That makes things easy for us. We don't even have to deal with that kind of problem. We do not need a grave. There's no way we need a grave right now. Building needs power. 4 constructibles are missing materials. We need wood then. That's unfortunate. Especially since wood should be the more abundant mineral right now. Much more abundant than metal, but apparently there isn't really any scattered around the map. I will say we didn't seem to get... this round... more than most, we were not very lucky at all with the drops that we got. There's basically nothing scattered around the map when we first started off here. So let's go ahead and chop some wood. Might as well get to work on that. Accidentally tried harvesting the tree when I meant to chop the wood. So we could chop, like, all the trees that are local here. Those ones would all go away anyways eventually, since, of course, we are going to expand our base towards all of those areas. So Mispy, it actually might be a very good idea for Mispy to get to work on that, so I hope that Mispy does. Awesome, cool. Because we definitely need that wood for many a reason. Okay, let's go to the next thing. There is also a new mechanoid type in the game, which unfortunately is something that won't really affect us too much, or based on our previous knowledge, because we never even encountered a mechanoid in the amount that we played of the game in this series and all that. So, it is called the Scyther, which I think is pretty cool, because, Scyther, I think is, like, one of the scariest Pokemon ever in Pokemon. Like, the funny thing about the bug types in Pokemon, more than pretty much any other Pokemon, and I know this is kind of random, but, you know, Scyther, name of the Pokemon, more than, like, any other Pokemon, I feel like the bug types are all horrifying. And I'm not really a guy to be scared of bugs. It's just because all of like the big bug types like Scyther and Pinsir and Beedrill, they all have like these giant like either like blades or like pincers that look like they could decapitate you or just like tear a human apart. Looks like there's all that wood. Probably should have actually started with the ones that are inside, but you know, we'll get those later. Obviously we need food, so harvesting those plants is very important. How close are these to completion? Oh, they're almost done, so that's pretty good. I don't think we should need to worry about food too much then. At least hopefully not. But, so that's something that's been added to the game. There are also new sounds. Of course, sound designer for this game, Alistar Lindsay, added a bunch of those. I don't know if I've heard any of them so far, but that's always really cool because sound design is something that is always very underrated by many people with any kind of project, like a movie or video game or really anything. But the sound design is actually a huge impact on things. A headache pierces your skull like a nail. Some distinct engine of hatred is stirring. It is projecting a powerful psych drone over the entire region. For a few days, everyone's mood will be quite a bit worse. Interesting. And that is not that big thing that landed? I would hope not, because we are very early in the game. I guess that's just a new random thing that could happen, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Hopefully people's moods won't be, like, critically damaged because of this. Looks like... Oh, whoa, now there's just one mood thing? That's interesting. Ah, cool! We get to name our colony. As, Veldron Nebulu told me quite a long time ago, or suggested a long while ago, we are going to call this the Big Egg. And quite the big egg it shall be. It shall be the biggest of all eggs, and it will destroy everyone and everything. Because our colony is grand. Let's see now, what is next after that? There was actually the gear that we have seen pop up a lot, and that's actually the next thing on my list, so that's perfect. Every colonist now has a new stat that is connected with all of them due to passing by. That does not really matter at all. But now, as you can see, not really stat, but like a little tree thing that you can see here, there's now gear that's been added. And that's a really cool one, because now, this is my favorite part about it. Now there is actually clothing that affects your units and stuff like that, and you can actually drop the clothing if you want, and you can actually also find out the information about the clothing, because now actually clothing works as armor or gives you other such buffs. Like, I know that it could give you a speed boost depending on your clothing. But yeah, see, this one does damage absorption +3. Well, let's see what his jacket does. Movement speed -3, but also damage absorption +8. So, and base price, apparently you could sell them as well. And you could drop them if you want, but I don't think we're going to go ahead and have any of our people removing clothes right now. In fact, we'd probably want them to have more. It does have a door key as well. Doors will open for someone carrying this key. That's pretty cool. I guess that just, I hope all people get those automatically when you're part of your colony, especially people that you recruit. I would imagine that would be a must in the game. That would be a little bit frustrating if that didn't just happen natively. Okay, good. We're starting to harvest all those. That should at least make us last a while, especially since we were harvesting these plants as well. I think we're going to be well off for food. So let's go ahead and start planning the next thing that we want to build. Actually, gotta talk fast, though, because we are almost out of time for this video. So the cool thing about the gear, in addition to that, and this is actually something that I probably won't use too much, because actually I need to print out that list that Gamer Girl gave me about all the guns' strengths and weaknesses and like the tier list and their abilities. But now you can actually access that easily throughout the game by checking out the info on the gun specifically, and that now gives us an easy way to drop weaponry. That's nice, because I always had trouble with that in the past, so I'll be happy with that change for sure. There are also info cards in the game now. I'm not sure how you access those. Definitely not in here. But you can, there are info cards that actually Oh, are there, actually, I guess the info cards must just be the more translations into the game, because I have that written next to it, so maybe, I don't know. Info cards, I'm pretty sure, are just supposed to, like, tell you more about the game or something like that. Maybe I just got that completely wrong, because I didn't write something clear enough for me to understand, so that's my bad. And last but not least, or at least of the major stuff, there's now a history tracker, so we could go ahead and see not just the history of our colony, but according to this chart, like how good we've done in regards to wealth in buildings, items, and of course our total wealth, which I imagine is this stuff right up here? Actually, no, total wealth would probably be adding those up, which is very cool. Makes us get to see like the rises and lows whenever enemies come and attack us, and all that. So yeah, I got some fires going around. Luckily, those aren't attacking us, aren't anywhere local to us. So, let us see. I think we're actually going to pause this right here, so I don't waste any time avoiding construction. And it's kind of funny, this episode went by really fast to me, at least, because there's so much to talk about in this one, while also getting everything done on the side. But, yeah, repeating again once I said at the end of the video, tell me what you guys think about about whether or not I should continue to play this colony off-screen. The reason why I think it would be a good thing is so that we could actually catch up to close to the point that we were at the end of our last colony, so we can see more of the new stuff that has been added to the game, because obviously, especially with the mechanoids, there's a lot of stuff that we still haven't seen from the previous build of the game, Alpha 4, regardless of this being Alpha 5, so I would love to show that off, and we'd be able to see it much more quickly if I did play off-screen. But, of course, the big negative against that, and this is actually something that I do consider quite a big negative, is that we won't be able to experience or you guys won't be able to experience the growth and the life of this colony here. So if you are a fan of seeing the lifespan of the colony and seeing all of the ups and downs and the trials and tribulations that one goes through while trying to expand, then go ahead and tell me that you guys would rather see that. And of course, we will continue playing this colony from this point right here, rather than having me play some off-screen to get to the later stages. So yeah, go ahead and message me about that in the comment section below. I really anticipate hearing what you guys think about that, because I'm very anxious to continue playing regardless of what decision you guys make. I love RimWorld. You guys totally still seem to be into RimWorld, which makes me incredibly happy. And yeah, I love you guys. You guys are awesome. So as always, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like, a comment, and or subscribing if you have not. I am the EggScrambledGamer, and I will see you all next time.